Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Captain America issue 21. And this was a pretty decent issue. We got a little bit more of a look behind the different operations of Lucan and Selene and how they're kind of more interconnected with Madripoor, and kind of got a little bit more movement of Cap and Bucky and Sam going after and dealing with Selene in Adamsville. So we start out this issue and we see that the Lucans are in Madripoor, and we see this one dude, William, pretty much doing this whole kind of slave thing because evidently they supply the slaves. He does the whole uh, influence kind of thing and having them connected throughout Madripoor. And of course, Alexander's like, why are we doing this? I don't really care that much about it. But of course, it's part of their whole deal and everything. And he, of course, gets a call from Selene and pretty much gets us up to speed with what's going on. She's filling up this blood marine thing with, like, evidently, like, life force and everything like that. And that'll work in both of their favors. Resurrection for Alexander and immortality for her. And she won't have to, like, go hungry ever again. It's like, okay, we'll kind of have to see how this is going on. We then cut to Steve talking with Sharon through text, figuring out what's going on. Sharon, of course, asked Agatha how her time is for what's going on. It's like, oh, don't worry, you have all the time. It's just your soul. But Sharon wants Steve to get as much information as possible rather than going, like, half-cocked and getting screwed over. And because they need more information on the Power Elite and how all these things are interconnected. So we see that him and Sam pretty much get into the whole orientation kind of thing. Use Wakandan image inducers to switch into the forms that they're doing. And granted, Selene has an idea, inkling of what's going on with them. Probably not full force, but knowing because we see her looking at the file. Of course, they get a whole tour of Adamsville, and we get the whole kind of spiel of you're able to be the kind of man that these guys want to be, making and doing things themselves, hunting, all that kind of thing, finding their purpose and everything. You can see, all right, it's not such a bad thing, but it's the things behind it and what perpetrate it and what comes from it that becomes the real issue, that Selene's pretty much using people as cattle and sucking life force and shit. So they also see one of her kind of sermons, and it follows the typical kind of like indoctrination kind of thing, telling of a great kind of before time, well, her bad time of when her village was pretty much beset upon by like a crazy person, and of course they were liberated by American soldiers, and of course playing up into that kind of rhetoric of being like calling them angels and everything, and the greatest generation, using buzzwords and propaganda to pretty much get them to buy into her pretty much farming method. It's like, shit, you always got to watch out for the PR. And, of course, it really generates and connects with the people, and Steve can kind of see why it connects with them and all that, but they see that these guys are being taken in, and she's getting ready to kind of take these low people and add them to her blood marine. And, of course, we see the guys pop in and be like, screw this shit. And it looked a little bit weird in the art style. It's like, okay, like the splash page of them coming in, just looked a little bit funny. I wasn't really digging it, but afterwards it kind of evened out a little bit better art style wise. So they're pretty much fighting it out there, getting the guys out of there. They're about to try and get the ladies out, but they are kind of succubi kind of people. I don't know if they're succubi or like also vampire people as well, like Selene, but she's like, all right, men, get them, and pretty much uses like kind of psychic kind of powers to get the men to go after him. So that's the end of that. We had also seen that it went back to the Lucans, and the William guy was pretty much dancing with Alexa, and she trying to like put the moves on her, but his niece starts chatting up Alexander, and it's like, yeah, you seem like a man who doesn't really give a crap about this stuff and kind of discards what he doesn't need. It's like, okay, so there could be like some trouble there and all that. And at the end of the issue, we see that the Williams is like, yeah, that chick's Ms. Lucan's really in my pocket and everything like that. He's like, hey, why are we stopped? It's like, oh yeah, I'm just discarding what I don't need. As he's got a Red Skull kind of mask thing on. It's like, okay, that's not good. But I'm like, the dude's kind of putting it on his territory, and he's going to put a stop to that. As we then see a scream. It's like, all right, we'll have to see how, if the Red Skull is into this whole Power Elite thing and how he might shake things up as that's going on. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.